Welcome to Miss Scarlett. Subscribe and don't miss out on Patreon. Have fun!
So, Charlie, are you sure you're up for this? Emma asked, a mischievous glint in her eye. The sun was setting, casting a warm glow over their eager faces as they stood by the open window, anticipating the night ahead. Of course I am. When have I ever backed down from one of your crazy ideas? Charlie replied with a playful grin. The evening breeze ruffled his hair as he leaned forward, eyes sparkling with anticipation. True, you're usually game for anything, but this time it's a bit, well, different. A grand ball, a night of fantasy, and you, my friend, will be the belle of the ball. Or should I say, the beau of the ball, Emma explained, her eyes dancing with excitement. Bring it on, Charlie asserted, throwing his arms open wide. Let's make this a night to remember. Just tell me what I need to do. Emma smiled, clearly delighted by his enthusiastic response. Fantastic! Now listen carefully, because we have a lot to do and not a moment to waste. First things first. She pulled a small bag from behind her back and held it up for him to see. Let's get you measured for your transformation into Princess Violet. Charlie's eyes widened as he took the bag from her, feeling the soft fabric inside. You've got to be kidding me. This is actually happening. He couldn't suppress a laugh as he realized the extent of their adventurous plan. All right, measurements. Let's do this. The next hour was a blur of measurements, fabric selections, and excited chatter as Emma guided Charlie through the process of creating his princess persona. With each passing moment, their enthusiasm grew, feeding off each other's energy. Now for the ball itself, Emma continued, her eyes lighting up at the mention of the event. It's going to be held in the grand ballroom of the Chandler estate, a luxurious venue filled with sparkling chandeliers and marble columns. Just imagine you'll be dancing the night away in a fairy tale setting. Charlie's heart raced at the thought, but he maintained his confident demeanor. A ballroom, huh? So, we're talking waltzing and all that jazz? Absolutely. And you, my dear friend, will be the most graceful princess there. We'll have you twirling and gliding across that dance floor like a true royal, Emma assured him, her eyes shining with determination. Well, I guess it's a good thing I've got you as my coach, then, Charlie said, a hint of mock surrender in his voice. Hopefully, I won't step on too many toes, literally and figuratively. Emma laughed, a joyful sound that filled the room with warmth. Don't you worry, we'll have you dancing like a pro. Besides, it's all part of the fun. Now, let's talk about your grand entrance. I'm thinking a dramatic reveal, complete with a breathtaking gown and a stunning tiara. Charlie raised an eyebrow, intrigued. A tiara? You really are going all out, aren't you? Of course! Princess Violet deserves nothing less. And just wait until you see the gown I have in mind. It's going to be absolutely breathtaking. I can already picture you descending the grand staircase, all eyes on you. Emma's excitement was contagious, and Charlie found himself getting swept up in the fantasy. All right, you've convinced me. I can't wait to see this tiara and gown. But what about the other guests? Won't they recognize me? A slight note of concern crept into Charlie's voice. Not a chance, Emma replied confidently. With your transformation, you'll be completely unrecognizable. We'll have you in a stunning mask as well, just to be safe. Trust me, no one will know it's you underneath all that glamour. Charlie's eyes narrowed playfully. And what about you, my dear friend? What will you be wearing for this grand ball? Emma's face lit up as she realized she hadn't even mentioned her own attire. Oh, I almost forgot! I'll be your fairy godmother for the night, of course. I'll be by your side, dressed in a gorgeous gown myself, making sure your every wish is granted. Charlie laughed. My own personal fairy godmother, huh? Well, in that case, I better start thinking of some wishes.
You do that, Emma said with a playful wink. Now let's get to work on your measurements and transform you into the princess of your dreams. The preparations for the ball began in earnest, with Emma guiding Charlie through the process of becoming Princess Violet. Together, they selected fabrics, chose accessories, and crafted the perfect mask to complete the illusion. As the days passed, Charlie's excitement grew, and he found himself fully embracing the fantasy. "How's this looking?" Charlie asked, striking a playful pose in front of the mirror as he adjusted the flowy sleeve of his purple dress. "Perfect!" Emma exclaimed, clapping her hands together in delight. "Oh, Charlie, you're going to turn heads as Princess Violet. That shade of purple complements you so well." Charlie beamed with pride, unable to hide his satisfaction at her compliment. "I have to admit, I'm kind of digging this whole princess thing. Who knew dressing up could be so much fun?" "I did," Emma said, joining him in front of the mirror. "But I'm glad you're enjoying it. Now, let's add the finishing touches. The mask and tiara will really bring the whole look together." As Charlie carefully placed the delicate silver mask over his eyes, he couldn't help but admire the intricate swirls and glittering jewels that adorned it. "This is so beautiful, Emma. I feel like I'm in a dream." "Just wait until you see everything come together on the night of the ball," Emma said softly, placing the sparkling tiara atop his head. "You're going to be absolutely radiant, my friend." Charlie's heart skipped a beat as he took in his reflection. The transformation was astonishing. "Wow," he whispered, reaching up to touch the tiara gently. "I feel like a real princess." "That's because you are one, Charlie," Emma said, her voice filled with warmth and sincerity. "Princess Violet is coming to life, and she's more beautiful than I could have ever imagined." A soft smile spread across Charlie's face as he turned to face his friend, his eyes shining with gratitude. "Thank you, Emma, for all of this, for making me feel magical." Emma pulled him into a warm hug. "You're very welcome, my dear friend. And we've only just begun. Just you wait until the night of the ball when you make your grand entrance and dazzle everyone with your beauty and grace." The night of the ball arrived, and the anticipation hung heavy in the air as Charlie and Emma made their way to the grand ballroom. The venue was a spectacle in itself, with sparkling chandeliers and elegant marble columns that reached toward the high ceiling. Soft music filled the air, creating an enchanting atmosphere. "Oh, Charlie, it's even more beautiful than I imagined," Emma whispered, her eyes wide as she took in the opulent surroundings. Charlie's heart raced as he surveyed the room, feeling a surge of excitement and nerves. "It's incredible! I can't believe we're really doing this!" "I know," Emma said, squeezing his arm gently. "But we are. And you're going to be amazing. Trust me." As they made their way through the crowd, Charlie felt all eyes on him. He stood tall, embracing his role as Princess Violet with newfound confidence. The whispers and curious glances only added to the thrill of their clandestine charade. "Shall we get you something to drink, Your Highness?" Emma asked, with a playful curtsy, guiding him toward the refreshments. Charlie laughed, feeling light and carefree. "Why, thank you, my dear fairy godmother. That would be lovely." As they mingled, Charlie couldn't help but notice the stunned expressions on the faces of those around them. He basked in the attention, feeling like royalty. The night was off to a splendid start. "Charlie, I think it's time," Emma said, appearing at his side with a conspiratorial smile. "Shall we make our way to the dance floor?" His heart raced as he nodded, feeling the anticipation build. This was the moment he had been preparing for. "Yes, let's do this." Together, they gracefully navigated through the crowd, drawing curious stares and whispers as they passed. As they reached the dance floor, the music swelled, signaling the beginning of their performance. Charlie took a deep breath, feeling the weight of everyone's gaze upon them. He straightened his posture, channeling the poise and grace of a true princess. Then, with a confident smile, he offered his hand to Emma and stepped onto the dance floor. The crowd parted as they began to waltz, their movements graceful and fluid. Charlie's heart pounded in his chest, but he kept his expression calm and serene, his eyes shining with a mixture of excitement and faux regality. As they twirled and glided across the dance floor, Charlie felt like he was floating on air. The music seemed to swirl around them, enveloping them in a magical bubble. He caught glimpses of astonished faces, mouths agape, as their graceful performance unfolded. With each spin and elegant turn, Charlie felt his confidence grow. He was no longer simply playing the part. He embodied Princess Violet, every fiber of his being radiating regal elegance. The cheers and applause from the onlookers only added fuel to his fiery performance. As the music reached its climax, Charlie and Emma executed a final, breathtaking spin, their laughter mingling with the delighted applause of the crowd. Faces beamed at them, mouths forming silent wows, eyes sparkling with delight and admiration. Charlie bowed deeply, enjoying the thunderous applause and shouts of approval. He rose with a flourish, taking Emma's hand in his and raising it high as they basked in the celebratory atmosphere they had orchestrated. "Well, Princess Violet, I'd say that was a dazzling success," Emma whispered, her eyes sparkling with pride and admiration. Charlie grinned, feeling utterly exhilarated. "I think you're right, and I have you to thank for it, my dear fairy godmother." As the night wore on, Charlie found himself fully immersed in the fantasy, embracing every moment of his time as Princess Violet. He chatted animatedly with guests, danced with abandon, and even granted pretend royal wishes with playful grace. The charade brought laughter and joy to all who participated, and Charlie found himself genuinely touched by the warm reactions of those around him. "Your Highness, may I have this dance?" A dashing young man approached, his eyes sparkling with a mixture of admiration and mischief. "I couldn't help but notice your exquisite grace and beauty." Charlie's heart fluttered at the compliment, and with a sweep of his hand, he accepted the invitation. As they danced, Charlie felt the man's eyes on him, a mix of curiosity and attraction. There was an unspoken understanding between them, a shared knowledge of the playful deception they were both a part of. As the song ended, the young man bowed deeply, a playful smile on his face. "Thank you for the dance, Princess. It was an honor." Charlie inclined his head, his heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and nervousness. "The honor was mine, kind sir." Their paths would cross again throughout the evening, each encounter filled with subtle flirtation and unspoken intrigue. It added a delicious layer of drama to Charlie's already enchanting night. "And what brings you to this grand ball, dear princess?" A matronly woman, dressed in exquisite finery, approached Charlie with a warm smile, her eyes sparkling with curiosity and kindness. "Your beauty and grace have certainly captivated everyone here tonight." Charlie felt a glow of satisfaction at her words, and he offered a polite curtsy before responding. "Why, thank you, madam. I simply couldn't resist the allure of a magical evening and the chance to meet wonderful people such as yourself." The woman beamed, clearly delighted by Charlie's charm and poise. "Well, you certainly have the grace and presence of a true royal, my dear. I do hope we have the pleasure of your company at future events." "The pleasure would be mine, madam," Charlie replied, his heart warm as he accepted her sincere compliment. Until then, may your evenings be filled with enchantment. As Charlie moved throughout the ballroom, he noticed curious glances turn to whispers and guests exchanging knowing looks. The secrecy and intrigue added an electric buzz to the atmosphere, heightening the excitement of the evening. Who is that mysterious princess? She's stunning. I've never seen anyone quite like her. Do you think she's a real princess? I've heard tales of hidden royals. The whispered conversations trailed off as curious eyes followed Princess Violet, their fascination and admiration growing with each passing moment. As the night progressed, Charlie found himself entirely in his element as Princess Violet. He moved with poise and elegance, embracing the illusion they had crafted with gusto. The attention and admiration he received only fueled his performance, and he relished every moment. Your Highness, may I present you with this token of my appreciation? A gentleman with a distinguished air approached, holding a small velvet box. I couldn't resist offering you this modest gift as a token of the memorable evening you've granted us all. Charlie's eyes widened in surprised delight as he accepted the box, feeling the weight of the unknown object within. Why, thank you, good sir. Your generosity overwhelms me. As he opened the box, a collective gasp went up from the crowd. Inside rested a delicate silver necklace with a sparkling purple gemstone, an amethyst, cut with exquisite precision to catch the light and reflect it back in shimmering hues. Charlie raised his eyes, taking in the enraptured expressions of those around him. My dear sir, your kindness renders me truly speechless. I shall treasure this gift and the memory of this enchanting evening always. The gentleman bowed, a look of satisfaction on his face. It is I who am honored, your highness. May this night be forever etched in your memories. The air buzzed with excitement as word of the gift spread throughout the ballroom. Guests crowded around, eager to catch a glimpse of the mysterious princess who had so captivated their hearts. Isn't she mesmerizing? Whispered one young woman to her companion. I've never seen anyone carry themselves with such grace, her friend replied, her eyes sparkling with admiration. Whoever she is, she's definitely royalty in my book. Charlie, basking in the glow of their admiration, felt a warmth spread through him. He knew their fascination was not just with Princess Violet, but with the illusion they had all collaboratively crafted. It was a testament to the power of their collective imagination and playful suspension of disbelief. If I may cut in, your highness? A suave, silver-haired man appeared, his deep voice rumbling with a hint of amusement. Charlie inclined his head, his curiosity piqued. But, of course, good sir. With a flourish, the man offered his hand, and Charlie placed his hand lightly upon it, allowing himself to be guided into the next dance. I couldn't help but notice you from across the room, princess, the man began, his eyes sparkling with a mischievous light. Your aura is utterly captivating. Charlie felt a tingle at the man's words, a combination of the allure of the unknown and the thrillingly ambiguous nature of their interaction. Why, thank you, kind sir. I do try to emanate a certain je ne sais quoi. The man laughed, a rich, deep sound that echoed through the ballroom. A successful endeavor, I must say. And might I inquire as to what brings Princess Violet to grace our humble ball with her presence? Charlie's eyes sparkled with mischief. Oh, I couldn't resist the allure of an evening filled with such charm and delightful company. It was an opportunity too enchanting to pass up. Their effortless banter continued as they gracefully moved across the dance floor, their steps perfectly synchronized. There was an unspoken understanding between them, a shared knowledge of the fantastical world they had both willingly stepped into for the night. You know, the man said, his eyes shining with a playful light.
I have a feeling that this evening will be one for the record books. Tales of the enigmatic Princess Violet will be told for years to come.
Charlie laughed, a joyous sound that reflected the magical atmosphere of the night.
Oh, I do hope so, good sir. I plan to make this evening as memorable as possible. The music swelled, signaling the end of their dance, and the man gracefully bowed, his eyes never leaving Charlie's.
It has been an absolute pleasure, Your Highness. I do hope our paths cross again.
Charlie returned the bow, a sense of excitement fluttering in his chest.
The pleasure was all mine. Until next time, sir.
As the enigmatic man merged back into the crowd, Charlie felt a surge of adrenaline. The night was building to a crescendo, and he knew that the highlight of their performance was soon to come. He caught Emma's eye across the room, her face alight with anticipation and pride.
"Well, my dear Princess Violet," a deep voice rumbled from behind him. "You certainly know how to make an impression." Charlie turned to find the host of the ball, Mr. Chandler, standing tall and stately before him.
"Why, thank you, Mr. Chandler. Your kind words warm my heart."
Mr. Chandler offered his arm with a sweep of his hand.
"Might I have the honor of escorting you to the balcony for some much-needed fresh air and a breathtaking view of the night sky?"
Charlie placed his hand on the offered arm, feeling the weight of the moment. "That sounds simply divine, Mr. Chandler. I would be delighted." Together, they strolled through the grand ballroom, heads turning in their wake. As they reached the French doors leading to the balcony, Mr. Chandler gently pushed them open, the sultry evening breeze carrying the scent of blooming flowers and the distant sound of laughter from below. Charlie stepped out, taking in the magnificent view. The sparkling city lights stretched before them, a tapestry of glowing dots against the dark canvas of the night sky. He breathed in the moment, feeling an overwhelming sense of gratitude for the life he had created for himself, a life where he could be unapologetically himself, where he could embrace his true identity and also explore the thrill of playful transformations.
"It's breathtaking," he murmured, his eyes scanning the twinkling skyline.
"Indeed it is, Your Highness,"
Mr. Chandler agreed, his voice carrying a hint of satisfaction.
"And it is made all the more so by your presence here tonight. You've brought an aura of magic and intrigue to this ballroom, and I am eternally grateful."
Charlie turned to face him, his heart full.
"The pleasure is all mine, Mr. Chandler. It has been an honor to be a part of your magnificent ball. I shall treasure this memory forever."
Mr. Chandler bowed his head slightly, his eyes filled with a warmth that seemed to see right through the illusion.
"The honor is mine, Princess Violet. And I suspect that your impact on this night will be far greater than any of us could have anticipated."
Charlie's heart skipped a beat, understanding the weight of Mr. Chandler's words. This night would indeed be remembered, not just for the enchanting presence of Princess Violet, but for the powerful statement it made about embracing one's true self and defying societal expectations. As they stood there, suspended in that magical moment, the sounds of the ballroom faded away, and the world seemed to consist only of the two of them, sharing a silent understanding.
"The night is still young,
Your Highness,"
Mr. Chandler said, his deep voice rumbling with a hint of suggestion.
"If you'd like, I could show you something even more breathtaking than this view."
Princess Violet's heart raced at the invitation, her eyes sparkling with curiosity and anticipation.
"Oh, Mr. Chandler, do you have something special in mind?"
With a mysterious smile, he offered his arm. "Please, allow me to escort you to a more private setting." Hope you enjoyed the story so far. The rest will be available on Patreon.